I just picked up a Brute 22-inch self-propelled mower for free. Not too far away, so I didn't spend too much gas money, but the wheels seem okay. There's a bag with it. It's got a Briggs and Stratton 6.75 on there, which I'm sure I can get running unless there's a huge problem. But one thing I didn't notice, look at all that. That's nasty. So I will fix this one for the engine alone and find another deck to put on it or something. Let's try to start this thing up. I have no idea if it'll start. It's got some gas in it, it's got oil in it. Yep, it's an automatic, no choke there. Okay, maybe we shouldn't try it. Maybe it was just that it was hitting. I mean, gosh, look at that rust. Yeah, that was funny. Okay, we'll try this again. Let's get some starting fluid in here. See if it's even got a chance. Yeah, I can't wait to see how this air filter looks based on how rusty this thing is. Not a lot of maintenance was done on this. Okay, come on, I'm having a heck of a time here. Paying too much attention to the camera and not what I'm actually doing. Wow, that's a decent looking filter. I'm guessing somebody knew they needed to fix it, started with that, because that is the easiest, that's the easiest thing to start with. Try it now. Yeah, well, it starts, so just needs a good carb clean.
Okay. We got a 5/16. Gotta get these guys out. Nice. Those are all three the same length. That's good. That's filthy. Get all that crumb. I gotta clean that thing off. There's some weird smells coming out of there. There's a good chance that that fuel is just bad, but I'm gonna clean it all anyway. All right, get some nice little needle nose like these. Not needle nose, sorry. Channel locks, not channel, my goodness. My goodness. The locking ones. With the locking, why can't I think of the name? Who cares? Who cares? Get in here, pinch off that fuel tube. I'm gonna wiggle this, break the seal so I can get this hose off. My goodness. I don't like this little separate guy. I don't want to lose him, so I'm gonna keep putting him on, but he's just gonna keep falling off. Gosh. This hose is just breaking. This is trash. Yeah, you gotta maintain your stuff. This is just... I'm glad I didn't know the guy that owned this, because this was just given to me for free. The guy put it up on Marketplace and said he had just bought the house and it was sitting there. He didn't want it, so this, you can buy fuel hose for super cheap. My goodness, that is on there tight. I'll probably end up just replacing that because I have a ton of fuel hose. But I gotta get it off first. Ouch. Man. Ah. Whew. That was ridiculous. Okay. So now I got a little spot up here that I need to make sure I get back in the right way because of that automatic choke. So this is 3/8 inch. I got 2 of these. It's just straight back there. Straight back here. All right. Most of the Briggs and Stratton mowers don't require pulling this piece off. All right, so you just got two Phillips. Make sure you can see. There was one down in here, and then one down in here, just one on each side there, and then this whole piece. Flip up, and now I can see this little bugger, and now it'll be easy. But once again, it's just some of these mowers have extra parts on them that require a little more work, which makes it a little more of a pain each time. Another tool, I don't normally have to use a Phillips on these mowers. All right, anyway, I'll stop complaining. No, I won't. Who am I kidding? This little tiny guy, let's see. Nope, he's smaller than that. All right, that little tiny one is a 1/4, 1/4. Okay, so now all I gotta do is tip this thing to get it off of this linkage here. And I'll have some fuel probably come out. I'll just tip it that way. That quick. Quick and easy. Now, let's go take this apart. Okay, this should be a 1/2 inch to get the bolt off. So, I know it's dirty in here. I got a little friend, a little mosquito buddy, Or actually, that's probably a mosquito eater. Anyway, this is all dirty right now because this is dirty. I will blow everything off. I will not put it back together super dirty. So please, you don't need to comment about how dirty it is. I know, I get it. I'm gonna dump that in there so I don't make too much of a mess all over my hands. And once again, use gloves. Use gloves. Do as I say, not as I do. All right. Take a look at that fuel in there. You know, I've smelled a lot worse. That's not too bad. Let's put a lid on that. All right. Once again, that's a 1/2 inch. That is pretty nasty. Wow. So usually I just got to tap it with something. I don't want to hit it too hard. There we go. Oh, that's, yeah. No wonder it wouldn't start without the starting fluid. Look at what's in there. Yeah, I'm going to drain this gas out too. I don't want to try to start it with all that. Just like green water. Just like a sludge. Yeah, that's nasty stuff. Got a little toothbrush over here. Use your old stuff to clean, you know? Get your old toothbrush. You're not going to use it on your teeth anymore. Why not use it on your carburetor? Oh, this is getting pretty. Look at that. Clean as a whistle. Let's set that aside. And once again, like I said, I know that some of this stuff is dirty and nasty, so that's why I'm not setting it back in the nasty area. All right. Next, I'm gonna pop this. Oh my goodness. There we go, okay. Yeah, this thing is gummed up. Gross. Pull the little pin out. Here's the needle. Yeah, all sorts of junk in there. Nice. All right. So I'm going to hold over a garbage can over here, and I am going to just brush this off with the toothbrush just to get the majority of dirt and grime off. Then I'm gonna spray it down, and then I'm gonna go over to my compressed air and get it even cleaner before I even start to try to clean the inside of this. Okay, got it a little better. Some of that junk is off. Spray it with some more carb cleaner. You know what? I'm actually, before I go compressed air, I'm going to take my bread twisty tie thingy. I strip some of that green off of there. I've got this little wire. And put him in to all these little orifices, all these little spots that are supposed to be free of crud. And then I will use compressed air to really get the stuff out. Use little Q-tips and stuff. Now on these, don't use an old one. Just get new ones. This I had barely used, so not on my own ear. I'm not saying I used it on my ear. That's gross. People are sick. Nope. I use one on my ear, I throw it away. All right, I'm gonna spray it off with compressed air. Okay, sprayed out I sprayed everything with compressed air. I sprayed here. I went down that hole. There's two down here. I've got a new gasket for right here. I'm gonna pull this guy off. That's just a pretty gross, yeah, it just fell apart in my hand, kind of. Get rid of that gasket. I'll show you the rest of the way. Basically, you just take one of these little razor tools. Make sure your fingers are out of the way. And for any of you that watch Terrell, I was just going to say this isn't the space shuttle. So, but then again, I mean, do we really think we made it to the moon? Oh, there's a can of worms I just opened. Yeah, just carefully scrape that old gasket away. And it does not have to be perfect, because the new gasket, I mean, you want to get the big stuff off of there. But you're going to have a new gasket that's going to seal it anyway. So, not the biggest deal in the world. And I always blow it back out. make sure that none of that material fell back into any of those holes. Probably should have done that first. Yeah, I know. I know. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that old nasty, so I'm going to go blow these off too. I'm going to take that bread. Gosh, that thing is disgusting. You know what? I'll do that part right now. I'm going to set the carburetor off to the side here on a clean towel. I'm going to get a little wire brush, this little guy. Harbor Freight's great for stuff like this. Get these little brushes for next to nothing. Just get a couple of them because they don't last too long. Just scrape all those threads, get all that green crud out of there. There we go. That looks way better. Then you take your bread twisty tie and you get this hole on the side. Make sure you can go all the way through. Go back and forth a few times. I can see there's junk. There's junk on it. So it was fairly blocked. I will blow it out with compressed air, but you can see through it now, which is good. And there's also go in on the very tip because that's an opening that also attaches down to there. All right. And then wipe off the washer a little bit. No big deal there as much, but you just don't want any of that crud getting back in to the carburetor. All right, I'm going to take these two and go blow them out with compressed air. And you know what I use for this part? I use Scott's towels. Check this out. Well, first let me remove the needle and that thingy. All right. I like to just put a new layer down. But yeah, quick little plug for Scott's towels. They are the Scott shop towels, and they work great. You can get them all sorts of places, but you know what? I am an Amazon affiliate, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you the link to where you can get that. And I used to not want to spend the money, and now, I don't know, you can see I got this roll. I got rolls, actually one in my truck. I got them all over my shop just so that I can keep my hands fairly clean while I'm working. So, as an Amazon affiliate, I do receive a very small commission if any of you were to click on that link and purchase the item. So I will make that easy for you, and I will provide a link in the description. So check it out. So here is my clean carburetor. Use that term slightly loosely. I mean, this thing is it's a little gross, but overall, I think it should work fine. Typically, you don't have to have these things perfect, you know. They will work. Using a toothbrush here again, just cleaning off the last little residue that's on the float. Because I do not want any gunk that I can see to ruin this thing. Because if you can see it, it can plug a jet. All right, I'm bowl back in there. My gasket. I'm gonna wipe off the needle here. Just gonna kind of, once again, I'm using a Scott's shop towel to scrub at it a little bit. There's just a little bit of residue on it. I like to get all that off if I can. I'm not gonna buy a new needle valve every single time I'm gonna work on a mower. It's just, I probably have bought one or two ever, and that's probably because it broke or I lost it. These things are typically fine if you clean them off. And then same with the pin, the float pin. Just wipe it off real good if there's a little bit of residue on there. Kind of get your thumbnail behind the towel so that you're scraping with a little bit of force, but that it's not getting up underneath your nail because it's ending up on the towel. And then, yeah. All right, let's put this guy back together. One more little piece of something. There we go. All right, so you take the needle and it slides right up to the point where it just dangles in there. And then you hold it over the carb and make it go just like that. And then you put this little post back in here. That should do that. Get that carb bowl back on. Look around, just make sure that it looks like it's straight all the way around, because they can get off a little bit, and if they do, then that can cause some problems. It's funny too, after you use the carb cleaner and everything starts kind of getting this weird, like yellowy, chalky look. And then you kind of want to wipe it off again, but. All right, so I'm getting this thing back on. Just use my ratchet. Way easier. And you don't have to kill it, but I mean, really doesn't hurt it if you make sure that it's on there super good. All right, I'm gonna grab that new gasket here too. Here's that. So as I put this back on, I'll put it on the other piece. Let's see. Yeah, it'll just end up going like that, kind of. All right, I cleaned the back of this. Looks a little better, huh? Yeah. And that's where I'm gonna put my gasket. So, you see the gasket right here. Let's see. Yeah, you just line it up. There's 3 little those 3 tiny little holes. Just kind of pop it in. Yeah, so that's good for that. All right, first thing I need to do is that little linkage piece goes right into that end piece there. You have to tip it up, slide it on. And I'm going to go ahead and screw this upper piece on. This is the automatic choke. That one that's the quarter, it's the 1/4 inch. Yeah, that's your automatic choke. That's why you don't have a little push button down here. And I'm going to take my 2 bigger bolts with my 3/8, and I'm going to get those in. Nice. All right. I'm gonna put on, you know what? I'm not gonna worry about the fuel hose right now because it is fairly flexible. It was just hard to get it off initially. So get the pliers, grab that piece, put that around there. Now I can take my vice grips off. There's the word I was looking for. Yeah, I mean, that hose isn't super good, but that's going back to normal. I think we'll be fine. Now this thing, I think it goes that way. Shouldn't matter too much because it's flexible. So make sure that that hose, this little guy here, slides onto here as you go to attach everything. So you get one of these guys ready. Yep, and my hand is back there. I can feel I'm still attached, so that's good. I usually just start these 2, get them going, go back and forth a little bit so it's not too offset if it's gonna. And then I add the 3rd one up here, which I always hate that there's a 3rd one. I feel like, what's the point of that? Is that really necessary? Now what we're gonna do is flip. This guy was just back. We're gonna flip it back on. With the 2 screws. Right there. And then we'll check it out, see if it's going, see if it's working. Oh, I was gonna drain the tank too, huh? Sometimes I say I'm going to do something and then I don't. No, I'm gonna on this one, I think. Let's check this fuel. There's not much in there, so I'm gonna go ahead and let's see. I don't want that bad fuel going in the carburetor and plugging anything up. I will drain it, which means I get to do these again so that I can see what I'm doing. But you know what? No big deal. The grand scheme of things, if you want it fixed correctly, then do it right. If you don't want to have to take it apart next week and clean the carburetor again, then do it correctly. Okay, I'm gonna go get my little glass jar full of nasty gas. I'm gonna pinch that off again. Take that little hose off and get this little green clip out of the way again. Gosh, put it in the not the easiest spot because it's got that other hose behind it. There we go. All right, let's see how not smoothly I can do this. Not too bad so far. Yeah, it's pretty orange looking. I'm gonna shake it a little bit here. Tip the mower over. There we go, that got more out. Shake it, shake it, shake it like a Polaroid picture. All right, I think we're good. Get the fuel line on first. Get the fuel clamp all the way back up. There we go. And that little guy back there. And once again, make sure that that hose is on. All right. So here's the gas. I would say, I mean, I've seen worse, but it shouldn't be quite that orange. Should be more clear, more yellow than orange. It really doesn't smell that bad either. All right, get some gas in this guy. Oh, that was not on correctly. Great. And that's my fault. I was the last one to use that. That should be enough. Oh, come on. See what we got. That thing purrs like a kitten. I'm not sure why it took a couple pulls after it did get started. The first time was because there was no gas in the carb and whatever, you give it a few pulls, but it wasn't surging or anything. I'm super pleased with how that was sounding. So we got a good engine now. Wheels are good, engine's good, bag is good. The deck is rotten to the core and needs to be replaced. So you know what? I'm probably gonna list it for 40 bucks and we'll see if anybody wants it for that. If not, I'll lower it to 20. If not, if it sits around too long, I'll find myself a new deck for it and I'll put it on myself, then I'll sell it for 100. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe if it helped you at all. Give you a thumbs up and share it with a friend.